Hey everyone, and welcome back to the next speed build of Yosemite Valley. Today with the Fennec Fox, one of the brand new animals from the Africa pack. And today we are going to start the Heart of Africa, which is going to be a couple of episodes here on Yosemite Valley. So yes, we are back, and even though I called it a day, this Africa pack actually made me come back and actually redo most of the African area. This is something I can already tell. Today's speed build will be a little bit shorter, simply because the habitat is already mostly done, and I just need to do a little bit of a few little adjustments. However, this is going to be the beginning of a little style attempt, I want to say. I'm going to quickly tell you the story behind. So in the next coming episodes, we will be doing the Meerkat, the Fennec Fox, and also some changes about the penguin and mandrill, which I'm going to explain at the very end of the video. So today's real-time part is a little bit longer. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to stick with me. Around halfway through this video, we're going to cut over into the real-time part, in which you can see, first of all, the final result, and also I'm going to talk you through the plans of the next episodes. However, in this time lapse, I'm going to quickly tell you the idea behind what you're seeing right now. So you can see I'm building more or less something of an entrance to the African area, and you will notice that this looks a little bit cluttered and it looks a little bit weird in a way. And that is the exact target of what I'm building. Now, hear me out. So Yosemite Valley has always been a zoo that is created in Yosemite Valley, and the original idea behind this was it is a national park, you know, that has actually been turned into a zoo over time. So it's not really like a zoo that has been established, I don't know, by a company that wanted to build a zoo. It is more likely grown over the time. So there is not really like the super themed area. We do have the actually tropical domes, but this is like tropical domes that are not having really a theme other than that it is tropical. We do have certain areas like the Big Cat House, we have the Sequoia area, but we don't really have like a super themed area yet. And this is the first attempt of Yosemite Corporation, if you want, or the Zoo Corporation of Yosemite Valley, to install a themed area. So as they have never done it, they potentially are not as good in it. This is at least my narrative in it. And so my idea was to basically give them a little bit of a benefit of the first attempt and make it look a little bit weird. That shouldn't say it looks bad, but it should actually not look perfect. There are some little weird quirks of it, you know, some beams not positioned correctly, and maybe some things just don't work together and it doesn't look really too nice and stuff like that. So this is the basic idea about this. One thing I really would see as a big issue is if I would have gone in and make this like super styled as my two one-off habitats I've done so far, so the penguin and the meerkat. I wouldn't find them suitable for here because that's too much. It's just too styled. Same was same was kind of for the Siberian tiger. So I'm quite happy it is working out now way better with the oval of the Big Cat House that we did. That was also a tiny bit too styled for me. So I'm happy it was kind of Yosemite-fied, if that's the right word. But yeah, so this is the idea behind this area, and so you will see me adding some little things here, but nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. We will actually add a couple of more style and thematic elements with the next habitat. So the meerkat will have some more, and the African penguin will most likely be the one with the most styled elements, which will also hand over to a little overhaul of the big ape house we have. So I'm going to make the ape house style a little bit different. So I will go in and make this also a bit more Yosemite-fied. I know one specific person who will be potentially very happy about it. It will be kind of a compromise though. I'm not going to rip apart the beautiful building from Haribo, but I'm going to change a few things to make it fit a little bit more into the African Yosemite style, which is going to be a new style. I just call it the African Yosemite style now. And you can see this is one of those things I mean. We're just putting like a little theme in here. This is just like a very tiny little themed building. You can really imagine that they asked someone to build like an African building, but it's just not overdone. It's just a little bit, you know, putting some African elements in, and that is about it. you know? There's nothing crazy going on in here. This is just very, very simple building stuff, and yeah, that's all about it. Really, there's not much more to say about this. The only thing I wanted to do is when you leave the aquatic house, I wanted to have like a little nice introduction by building a little yeah, statue. It's almost like a big statue, which is the heart of Africa. And this is where I will leave you alone for a couple of seconds with this build, and then I'll be back with you in the real-time part. So enjoy this building of the statue, and then in about a minute I will be back with the real-time part. And I really hope you enjoy this one so far, and I talk to you in the real-time part. Welcome everyone to the real-time part. So as promised, we are going to go through this build now a little bit more in detail, and I'm going to talk you through a bit more what I already said in the time-lapse. Now, the idea behind this African area now is to really bring together the Yosemite feel, but then again also a little bit more of a themed area, which we don't really have in that zoo yet. I mean, we have a big cat area, and we do have some other areas, but we don't really have a themed area. But I wanted to, you know, give a little bit of a chance to Africa. Now, the idea behind this is this might be the first attempt of Yosemite Valley Zoo to actually do a themed area, and this is also why it is a bit of a mixture, you know. It's not really, you know, I'm not going full in, as I said. I wanted to make sure that this looks somewhat I don't even want to call it a bad, but it's like, you know, a first attempt, okay? So a draft, more or less. And it's not like the final product that they would have done. To go a bit more into the story of what Yosemite would like. And you can see all of these barriers over here are a lot more like borrowed from what is Yosemite style in general. And this is also why I decided to, you know, do some just simple shading like that. And then have like a little bit of an African build, but it's just like a very, very, very small theme. It's not taking too much attention. Not going too crazy into a themed area, because I just think that really doesn't fit to Yosemite, and I wanted to keep it somewhat subtle, you know, and that is the idea behind this. So you can see this is where we are having this little bit of a, it's not even a bazaar, but it's just looking like an African entrance. We could actually do a little bit of backstage over here if we want. But I'm not really, you know, I'm not really keen on doing this right now. And then we have this wonderful African entrance, which, honestly, I'm quite happy with how that turned out. I really wasn't sure if it's gonna work out or not, but I am quite happy, especially with the vista here with a half dome in the background. So it's really looking a lot better than I expected. It's something. Oh wait, there's one mistake in here. I'm going to quickly solve that one. Come on, go in. This looks a bit weird. I just want to pull the penguin a tiny bit to the background. There you go. Yeah. Which animals are escaping, by the way? That is very unfortunate. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that later. There are a couple of issues here in Yosemite that are created due to the DLC, but this is something I have to resolve on another time, you know. And if we go further back in this area, you can see this is the Fennec Fox habitat, of course. I did some changes, I did some subtle changes in here, nothing major. You can see there are a couple of little things I put into here, making sure it's all a bit more light, a bit more open by removing some trees, putting some grass in, and it's still quite big for them, so that's the good thing. The habitat is still kind of spacious, so I'm very happy with this. And even though these animals are used to having a bigger area in their nature, it's still doing very nice in terms of yeah, the space they have. Obviously, the coverage of plants and stuff is way too high, but I, you know, don't really give too much about it because again, I'm quite certain they wouldn't complain in real life. And this is Yosemite Valley, you know, and this is actually still in a northern part or like Central America. Well, it's actually North America, so. It is just the way it is, you know. I can't do too much about it. I don't want to rip apart too much of it, and I think it still looks very nice indeed. So yeah, you can see there are some viewing spots over here with these glass pieces. I love these new semi-translucent glass thingies. It just look like really cool, a very good addition to the game. You know, some of the ropes here play in very nicely, but in general, I think the habitat itself didn't really change that dramatically, and it just didn't need to because it was already pretty decent. So sometimes, you know, you can just stick to what you have, and since we already had an African theme in the game, it was kind of obvious that, you know, I already did something. Anyways, let's talk about what's happening next, because that's going to be very interesting. So after all of your feedback, which was amazing by the way, I decided to actually move the mandrills. I'm not going to remove them, but I'm going to move them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the area over here. I'm going to take away a little bit of the space of the bonobos because they have, like, let me just quickly show you if I can find any of those, but like plenty of animals are boxed. But anyways, you can see they have a lot of space, you know, there's a lot of space available, and the only entrance we need to take care of is that one. But I'm also just tempted to close that one off because it's just on the very side of here, so we can actually close that off if needed, and then we can actually take a huge chunk of this one and making this the mandrill space. It would also go a lot more into the idea of having monkeys and apes in here, so that they are going to be here. And honestly, this is like a dead part of this zoo anyways, so I think it would make sense to really focus this new area with the viewing from this side. So this will be the main spot, so I can actually turn that into the African penguin one, and so this African area is actually becoming an African area. This spot over here will be taken by an indoor section of the meerkats, or the meerkat I should say, sorry, the meerkats. My god, 64 animal problems. Look at that. Animal has escaped. Why are they escaping all of a sudden? They changed again something in the game. I hate that. Every single update you need to fix your habitats. It's apparently very annoying. But yeah, so we will build on that. And again, the next idea is, and I think I like the idea of really ongoing change, having ongoing change in here. So I will take a lot of what is already existing with this habitat, and I'm not going to change this dramatically. I'm going to raise a little bit of that, so make the water go a little bit higher, so we have a bit more swimming area, and, you know, just as if they take upon that and then just building on what this is already existing over here. So I think that's a very good idea. And yeah, the rhino is just going to be replaced. I'm not going to make an episode on that, so the rhino is just going to go in that habitat and done, I guess. So yeah, I'm really hoping that you guys enjoy these changes, and if you have some more ideas. Oh, by the way, I did already one thing I just wanted to show you. Look at that. I just made like a little meerkat education board already. I will do more of these, and if you guys want to participate, you can also do some education boards for all of these animals, and I will feature them in here. I'm not going to make like a contest out of it, but if you guys want to be featured, just drop them in my guild. Link is in the description. You can join there and just send them to me, or you just send them via email. You know, it just works the best way you can do it, what suits you the best. So do whatever you want. And also a friendly reminder, if you want to win a DLC code, tomorrow I will be live streaming on my Twitch channel from around 5-6-ish Central European Summertime to 8-9-ish in the evening. So if you guys want to join and have the chance of winning one, I would be more than happy to welcome you. And that is about it for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's Fennec Fox habitat. I certainly did enjoy making this one a real habitat now. No mod, no fake, no whatever. It is a real Fennec Fox habitat, and I'm just super happy to be able to have that, and I hope you guys are too. And now stay safe everyone. I see you tomorrow, and goodbye.